Welcome back, friends, at another session to Thinking on Destiny. We are going in a very interesting way how to know the Noetic destiny, the light of intelligence. Let us meditate a few minutes on the Percival consciousness and let his light of his consciousness take us through the real truth. So please sit in a meditative posture, take out your glasses, clasp your hands and clasp your legs. Close your eyes. Please observe your natural, normal breath. Inhale vital energy into all four systems of our body. And remove carbon dioxide along with all your negative emotions. While you are exhaling, imagine you're taking all positive energy when you are inhaling. Releasing all negative energy. Exhaling. Just place your hands on your eyes for a few seconds and open your eyes with a beautiful smile on your face. Before we go further in our Noetic destiny, in section 3, the remaining part, let's recap what we have learned in the last session. Over to you, Balagar.
So last week, Prasanna covered the light of intelligence. So I will summarize that. The triune self receives the light from the light of intelligence, and it is not part of the triune self, but it is the light of intelligence is only loaned, and it is a conscious light. So it is not, it's present always with the triune self. It says the light is indivisible, though it appears divided. And this light of intelligence is same irrespective of the forms in which it lies in, and it is only obscured by the nature. This light lets things to be seen as they are. And also it shows the power to change without themselves being changed. So it gives the power. The light of intelligence does not act or react, but make you act. Light of intelligence makes the sun, moon, stars, and earth to shine and function. And the doer receives the light of intelligence depending on their thinking and the Noetic destiny. So it all depends upon how the doer receives, depends upon their thinking. The light of intelligence sends to nature and stays in as nature units and ties to the doer by its thinking. So all this is, it stays in the nature as nature units. This light makes the latent energy of nature very active. This is the light. This light of intelligence makes the nature very active. This nature light sent out through the doer, that is through ourselves as intelligence, and it is called God. This is what we say, this same God who we created this world and carries it. So it is not by, he's saying the same God exists in all of us. The doer is responsible for the light he has sent, in that the light he has sent to nature, and he must redeem, that is, he must regain it. This redeemed light goes out again and again until it becomes unattached to nature. That is desireless. Then this unattached light remains in the noetic atmosphere of noetic world, and it is free from noetic destiny. Then in that case, it goes to noetic world and it is free from noetic destiny. This noetic atmosphere light is very clear, taken by noetic breath, and makes the atmosphere conscious in the degree of I-ness and selfness. So the noetic atmosphere, which has tendency of oneness and potentially develop, actually, I can say like this, triune self becomes an intelligence in noetic atmosphere, which has tendency of oneness and potentially developed into light and I am faculty. So that is how, that triune self becomes an intelligent because of that oneness potentially, when it becomes, that light of I am faculty, that is higher self in me. And this, noetic atmosphere is active side is the knower, and the passive side is the noetic breath. And again, the active side goes into passive I-ness and active selfness. So from the I-ness comes the real self, that is the Atma of triune self in human, and it is same as it is same in all different life forms. That I-ness. Selfness is the knowledge. Knower of the triune self is conscious of the higher degree of I-ness and the selfness. That is the knowledge. That is the selfness, the noetic atmosphere. There is no place or time which, in noetic atmosphere, and we see, we see matter everywhere at once. So that's what happens in noetic atmosphere. Noetic destiny is the light in the mental atmosphere tied up with the human physical body and also with the light in the nature. And the same noetic light goes through the mental atmosphere by the thought and the nature. And also it goes, into the noetic, it's like a cycle. And through the food and thought, into the mental atmosphere and also through the nature. Knower sends the light into mental atmosphere with the noetic breath. I-ness sends the light to be used in thinking and reasoning. But selfness sends the light of rightness when conscience speaks as intuition. So the selfness, of the rightness, we get it as intuition. That's what he's saying. Light, that I-ness, that which is ego, sense is diffused in mental atmosphere, and light that selfness sends is clear and direct. Noetic breath sends some light to mental atmosphere and receives it through mental atmosphere. The clear light from the noetic atmosphere cannot be sent to physical nature. So even that clear light cannot, get into directly into, physical nature. That's what he's saying. The light in mental atmosphere is mixed with desires and thoughts and is exteriorized as a physical on the earth. The reasoning, the diffused light in mental atmosphere stimulates the matter and keeps the mental breath in circulation. This light allows the reason to act through thinking. That's the reasoning. Rightness. Light of rightness is not of the mental atmosphere, but it's clear light sent it in flashes directly from noetic atmosphere by selfness. So that is the clear light in, that higher selfness. So that's why here, we covered mental atmosphere and the noetic and mental. Now let's go into psychic atmosphere. And here in psychic atmosphere, there is no light in psychic atmosphere. And this atmosphere is mixed with feeling and desire. The matter is usually dark, heavy, gross, and sluggish. The main characteristic of psychic atmosphere is feeling and desiring for something it longs for, but then also it is included with fear. If that something is the light of intelligence, it contacts with the thinker and knower. If it is the right one, which is the light of intelligence, then it contacts with the thinker and knower. But the psychic atmosphere is not conscious of light itself. When impression from nature elementals or desires enter through the openings of the body, it is stirred into stimuli. If the feelings and desires get the light, it would not change. It continue to seek satisfaction from the nature and not advance, which retards the doer's progress. Feelings are in the heart and cannot go beyond the heart. Desire is in the mind and always go with the intellect. Desire cannot get the light. If going after desire, light is wasted. You can create a new being with your own thoughts. That's what I have.
Thank you, Balagari. So it's so interesting to learn the Noetic destiny and how actually we are, how the light is getting. So we think that we are actually thinking we are not so powerful, but if we understand that how great or how much powerful we are in our thoughts, we are unnecessarily wasting our thoughts on something, on somebody, or some gossiping, or all those things. So all this becomes, it's a waste of our energy, and you are giving your energy wastely onto the nature. The nature giving into the other things is okay, but unnecessary things you are keeping your thoughts and all your energy. The light is going bad because you are not using your light is get dim, diffused whenever you are not using that. Whenever you understand that, even in Bhagavad Gita, this is whenever you understand that, you have that kind, then that light, if you just put it in that, because this knower concept, the knower is all the one. I read in Bhagavad Gita chapter 16 or 17, something like that. Because I now could relate, because maybe at that time we don't know that knower concept, right? So we understood it differently. So let me share my screen, because I'll just recap a few things before I go further. And then just a minute, you are seeing my Gmail. Okay. Slideshow from current slide. So here is the word, right? So I'm just giving a pictorial representation. This is the figure that we know already. The light world is the knower. The knower is always in the light world, and it is a noetic world. Okay. Next one is the life world, the thinker, which is the mental destiny. The next one is, okay. Next one is the form world. Okay, the next one is the form world, the form world, which is having the, again, the doer, that is the, and it's a psychic, not the form world, the psychic world, and then physical world is actually the doer. So if you take the noetic world, right? So why it went up? I think I did something, it went up. But here in the knower world, right? In the knower or the noetic world, there is a I-ness and selfness. The knower or a noetic world, you have that I-ness and selfness. So that will transform into, just now Balagari has said, that will transform into the mental or a life world with the thinking, reasoning and thinking and righteousness. The I-ness will be connected as a reasoning and thinking, whereas selfness is coming as a righteousness. Whereas coming to the psychic world, there is no light, because the light is getting diffused in the psychic world. What is that psychic world is having? Psychic world is having that feeling and desire that you got it from the physical world. So that feeling and desire you are transforming to the mental world. So whenever you are transforming, so thinking, whenever you are transferring that your feelings and desires to the what is the mental world, the light will get mixed up, and the light will goes to the nature through your feelings and through your senses, through your feelings or through your desires. That light is going to the nature. So you are giving the light to the nature. Okay. There is no light. You are just giving the light over the nature, and you are wasting, or you are wasting your energy or whatever the thing through your desires or through your things. You are wasting there. Okay. Light world, the knower; life world, the thinker, reasoning and thinking and righteousness, and the psychic world is a feeling and desire. So which is traveling? So the light is traveling from top to bottom, and the feelings and desire is traveling from the bottom to top, and they are getting mixed up with the mental destiny. And then all your light is disposing, all your light is getting wasted on these things. Suppose if you can be in control of your desires, if you can control of your feelings, if you can be of control of your emotions, you will not caught up that the light will travel to the physical world where you can get the truth, exact truth. You will be able to understand the truth. Here, if you see, right, the starlight, sunlight, earth light, moonlight, all this is also coming, the light of your things, from your body only. From every one of our body, the light is going to that. They themselves are not having the light. So starlight coming through human nerves. Sunlight is coming through heart and lungs. Moonlight is coming through kidneys and adrenals. And earth light is from sex organs and digestive systems. See? From collectively, we are all giving that light to these things. So by taking our light, then only this giving power. The other day I told you there is one example I gave you. So how does one stone? It is an ordinary stone. When you carve with the Lord Venkateshwara, the Lord Shiva, and keeping it in the temple, and then you started worshipping it. But is it not having the power? Yes, it is having the power. When you go and ask for something, or when you are going worship on something, you are able to achieve something. How does that power has got? Otherwise, it is just the stone. But the thought that you created, right? The thought that is the God, and the energy that you are giving from you to that particular stone. So when collectively there's so many people are giving that energy to that particular stone, that became the powerful, because your light went into that stone. So that became the God. Similarly here, the sunlight is coming all from all our hearts and lungs. The energy is going. Sunlight focuses on the starlight in a steady stream. And then moonlight is taking the light from the kidneys and adrenals. Moonlight adjusts the sunlight. And earth light is taking the light from the sex organs and digestive system. Earth light takes or passes through back of other three kinds of the light. So this is how you are the light being. You are not the ordinary being. Your thoughts are not in ordinary thoughts. Your thoughts has a lot of power. Do you want to waste the thought on something? Do you want to waste the thought on what other people wear, whether that particular dress is suited for her or not? Do you want to waste now? How does it matter? What Sirisha wears here, whether it is suiting to her or not, how does it matter to me? It is, she likes it, she wore it. That's it. So why I have to waste my thought? If it is an appreciative thought, at least it is an acceptable. Oh, your dress is nice. That is actually you are generating a positive energy. No. Many people will start, oh, that is not suitable for her. I don't know why she spent that much on her. You didn't give the money to her. Why are you wasting your thought? Or you didn't raise the other people's kids. Why are you talking on their kids? So this kind of gossiping, this kind of unnecessary talk, we are wasting our light on unnecessary things. If you don't need to keep on anything, if you just save your light, you will find the truth, because the truth is within you. The knower is within you. If you can if you can use that time to go inner, then you will be able to achieve. Do not dispose. Do not go outside. Do not go and waste unnecessary things. At least how much he is actually dissecting, I can say. He is dissecting each and every part. So is it not so? Some of us will come and ask, is it not told in our scriptures? Yes, it is all there in our scriptures. I do agree. But it is in a coded language. As he told, it is in a Sanskrit. And that, because we cannot understand the Sanskrit, we have to depend on some people commentary. And we are caught up with their own perceptions. But he was clearly mentioning that what exactly it is. what exactly, or how the light is getting into that in a modern way, in a very clear way, scientific way. So now let us go to the section 4. The intelligence in nature comes from the human beings. Intelligence in the nature is coming from the human beings. That's what we are telling. So all the human beings' intelligence only giving to the nature. The pull of nature of the light. The laws of light in nature. How these are the agenda, but I may not able to do the last point. Maybe couple of points. First 2 points I will try to cover in this section because we have only around 30-35 minutes. Okay. So the intelligence coming from the human beings only. Suppose I'll give an example. I think it in around 2001, if you see, there is a big, what is that? I didn't remember. Dubai. What is that only? Anybody can give me the name? That palm tree. Is it Burj Khalifa?
It's palm tree house, right?
Huh?
Palm tree. It's a palm tree house, right?
One second. Yentamma? Palm Jumeirah.
Palm Jumeirah.
Okay. That is the thing, right? So that was built because until then, what I'm saying is that is not there. Previously, it is not there. It is only the sea is there. But how come it became there? How the Palm Jumeirah was built up? They wanted to become because the resources are going out and they wanted to build their country and they wanted to make something as a what is a tourist place. So the king thought, he got some engineers and all those things. Then they started, we can fill until then nobody has thought it. They can fill the sea and they can start building the things in a great architecture way. The palm tree kind of thing, all the buildings were there, floated there. Okay, the big stones, I don't know how much time it would take. The big stones, they just laid it on the sea and then they started this one. So that much, because from where that light comes, this is a nature, right? Because whenever the Palm Jumeirah is not there, it's not the human being, it's the nature. So how that great building, the great architecture was built, from where that talent came, from where that intelligence came, from some engineers, from some architects. So from engineers and architects means from the human beings, that light went into the nature. This is the best example, isn't it? Any building, for that matter, any buildings or anything, the great architecture, the built was the nature. How does that particular building is? In fact, every day we are using the iPhones. From iPhone is a technology. How does it come? That's the nature, right? Again, it came from one of the human beings. The light has been put in the nature. Then only all this came into that. So the human being light, whatever that light we are having, only we are just able. We are the creators of that, isn't it? So we will say that God has created us. Then we are creating that. How can you create? How can you meddle with the nature? Because it is the nature, right? There is a sea is a nature, but you are modifying, meddling in the sense you are modifying the nature and you are creating something. How can you do that? Because you are the co-creator. You know how to create it because you are the one who created that sea also in some other lifetime. Now you are actually meddling and you are able to do that. Without you being creating, you cannot modify the nature. So you are the part of that creation. So that's what here we have to understand. Let's go in detail. So because whatever I gave the introduction is like, it's kind of that whole thing that is explains that how the nature is creating, how that light of intelligence from the human being, from the Noetic destiny was drawn to the nature and the nature was built up. But here is dissecting again point by point, how the 4 worlds, 4 systems, 4 nerves, all the things, he will be explaining it. Nature needs the light from the intelligence in the human world of the time and gets through the human thinking and thoughts. How this nature comes from our thinking and our thoughts. Let us take, I thought I need to have a beautiful garden in my backyard. I wanted to grow some organic food in my backyard. Okay, that is my thought. With my thought only, all the things will come up. Because your thought energy is being generated. Then you will go and purchase some seeds, you will go and have some soil, and you will try to give the enough water, enough sunlight, all the things. So everything together again, You yourself cannot do it. You are just, you maybe your kids are, somebody is pouring the water. You just got and you try to do that, and sun is giving its sunlight, and the soil is helping you to sprout. All the things in the nature together, if you see, all in one is coming that fruit, that vegetable, and then you are eating it. It is making you strong. So you are in all, and you all are in you. That is the nature. That is the Aham Brahmasmi. That is the state. Light reaches the human beings from their noetic atmosphere. Light is always there in the noetic atmosphere. Noetic atmosphere, it is there. Strong light is there. Okay. The light does not go directly into the nature. From the noetic nature to the directly to the nature, it will not go. How it will go? Again, whatever that we learned, right? Just a kind of recap. The light from the noetic atmosphere must go first into the mental atmosphere. So the next mental atmosphere, where it becomes diffused, mixes with the desire, which comes from the mental atmosphere. So from the mental atmosphere, from the psychic atmosphere, from where this desire is coming from psychic atmosphere. All these desires and feelings are coming from the psychic atmosphere to the mental atmosphere, whereas noetic atmosphere is sending the light. So here the light is getting diffused with your desires and feelings. The light is not the desire, but bound it in a thought. The light is not the desire, but bound it in a thought. So this light is bounding it with the thought, because whatever the thought that you are doing, right? So with the thought, the light is getting bounded. The light is not the desire, but the bounded to the thought. A thought is conceived, entertained in the heart, and issued from the brain. See, the thought is conceived from your heart. So the one thought it came and was issued, and it was nurtured by the brain. In order that the light of intelligence may go into the nature, an active body is necessary to exteriorize the thought of it. So you need to, because if your thought has to go in outside, suppose you are just sitting idle and your thoughts, you have a light and your thoughts are coming. I need to know what is the truth. What is the truth? What is the God? What is me? What is my purpose? If you are go on thinking, by closing your eyes, if you are contemplating on these things, you are not giving your energy to anywhere in the nature, because you are contemplating within yourself. Your energy, your light is not going out. Remember, friends. So if it has to be, if nature has to be received the light, means you have to give some light to the nature in the form of thoughts. Those thoughts has to be exteriorized in the nature. Suppose if I want a beautiful home, okay, if I want to have a big home, if I want to have some cars, if I want to have some plants, if I want to have, all these are the nature. Your thoughts are in the nature. So whenever you are doing it, it will get exteriorized and go to the nature. Part of your thoughts will get exteriorized and will be the part of the nature. The nature therefore wants acts by human bodies to go through them, light from intelligence. The light from intelligence. Okay. Nature through the swing of the breath. How the swing of the breath of an object sense reaches through the system, one of the senses to the doer, and pulls desire to get the human to perform the physical act. Because something has to be formed. The nature wants light. Then through the breath, some thought will go. All of a sudden, something will go into your, oh, what should I do? What do I do kind of thing, right? It will go into the pull of your thought. It will go inside, okay? And then it will try to say, oh, I want that, I want this kind of thing. So you went to a party and you saw so many things. So some thought went in your side, you want to have some certain kind of dress, certain kind of saree, because you saw them, they were beautiful. So you wanted to have it. How that nature is pulling you? So it is taking your light. The nature is taking your light by pulling through the breath. It is going into the desires are going into your heart. The light of intelligence going to the nature with the thinking and with the thoughts, though through the openings of the body. The light of intelligence goes into the nature, into thinking. The light into the nature, into thinking, through your thinking, with the thoughts, through the openings of your body, all openings of your body, the light is going into the nature. Whatever that you want it, right? It is going into the nature. Suppose you smell a jasmine flower, such a light fragrance. With that also, your light can go, because you are in contact with the nature. So you are feeling that pleasure. You are feeling. Through your feeling, you are thinking something. Through your feeling, that light can go. Nature seeks light. Nature wants a light. Otherwise, there is no life in the nature also, right? It seeks your light. Life, form, desire, none of which it has. So life or a form or a desire, it doesn't have any light. Only the Noetic is having it. It seems that a dry soil seeks a water. Suppose there is a dry soil, it seeks an water. A fire seeks wood. As a negative seeks positive, similarly the nature seeks your light. It's such a natural that it needs your light to survive. There is an urge to unfold the grow by combination. There's an urge to unfold and grow by combination. You will feel like urging. You wanted to have that kind of thing with your thoughts and all. Without light, without desire, nature must remain inert. Without light or without desire, the nature will be inert. It cannot grow. It cannot do anything. Okay. If one person is not did not get a time now, see now there is a one new feature I'm just seeing, Google, right? So suppose there is a one email come and you wanted to reply. So you are keeping all your keywords, then draft email. So it automatically drafting an email, what should be replied to that particular email also, it is drafting. That kind of feature is coming in the Google Gmail now. And similarly, there is a Google Maps where if you are going for a particular trip and a bird's eye view, it can generate the bird's eye view. It can give you where you can go in a cycling, where you can go in a hiking, where you can go in the car. Everything it is giving you that's new features that they are developing it. The Google is developing it. So with all these things, how does that nature? So because the light of some engineers are keeping on this particular task, it is growing. The nature is growing. That's what. It could be the technology form. It could be the plants form. Anything it is external to the human is the nature. Without light, without desire, it will remain inert. Nature gets the lights from the human thoughts and desires from the embedded portions of the doer. So how it is getting from human thoughts and human desires only, it is getting the light. Desire is the driving power within the form and structure of the animal and plant. As we mentioned in some other form, desire is the driving power within the form and structure of animal kingdom and plant kingdom. Whatever the desires, right? So some of the desires which are not, so those desires will go into the nature and they will give the food. That light will be thrown to the animal form as well as the plant kingdom as well. This is the place exactly that I remember Padri sir said, I have the different understanding until now, but this book unlearned that old learning and learned the new things. So when he himself is able to, because he has written 1 lakh books and all those things, when he himself learned this, so much from this book and suggested for us to learn this, means how fortunate. Without learning all those things, he learned it, unlearned it, and he got it one, and then, okay, go and read it. So that we are that fortunate to read directly this book. Desire and light are the organisms of the nature as an instinct, which guides in selected food, self-protection, and procreation. Desire and light are the organisms in the nature and instinct. So all these desires under the light are all, which guides in the selected food, self-protection, and procreation. For all these things, this light is useful. Each of the senses works a set of nerves. Each of the senses are working with the set of nerves. And 4 sets of the run into and are part of the involuntary nervous system. In our involuntary nervous system, there are 4 sets of the nerves that is running for the 4 senses. We will see what they are. In this system, the breath form connected with all the parts of the body, meaning the 3 bodies. The breath form, right? Whatever the breath form that we are taking, that is connected to all the forms. To all the 3 bodies. Okay, all the 3 bodies, it has been connected. The breath is not breathing. Breath is not just the breathing. It is, which keeps the physical body going, makes contact with the 4 senses. Physical body is going and making the 4 contacts. Suppose the breath if you take, right, we know that, we all have done some pujas and done Om Prana Swaha, Vyana Swaha, Samana Swaha, Udana Swaha, Apana Swaha, something. So the 5, breath is the 5 pranas. So all these 5 pranas, we are actually, whenever you are doing puja, you are just offering that thing, right? Similarly here, Breath is not just the breathing. It is connecting. The 5 means one vayu is connecting the thoracic region, one vayu is connecting the abdominal region, one vayu is connecting to the lower region, one vayu is the head region, and Vyana is connecting to the all parts of the body. Similarly, here he is saying the air, it is not, the breath is not just the breathing, it is connecting all 4 senses, all other senses of the body. It is, the breath is connecting.
Prasanna, can we go back? When he says, in this system, the breath form connected with all parts of the body by means of 3 bodies. So what are those 3 bodies?
We have 3 bodies written. What happened? What are the 3 main bodies we have? Okay.
Because I know systems are there and cavities are there.
3 bodies, and in general, 3 bodies we have it, right? What is that?
Physical body, emotional body.
Physical, mental, emotional.
Physical, mental, emotional.
Oh, physical, mental, emotional. Yeah. Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Okay. Is it clear? Okay. Next. Impressions of seeing, hearing, tasting, and contact of the smell reaches the doer the way the corresponding physical body. These impressions of seeing, hearing, tasting, and contact is going and corresponding to the physical body. When a physical contact causes the feelings, impressions, and contact of each doer, the way the nerve touched the sense of smell. See, the way we are touching the nature, right? So that's how the nature is touching our light. The impressions brought by seeing, hearing, and tasting must go through the sense of smell to the breath form, and the earth breath to the reach the doer, and breath form and earth breathe to reach to the doer. So by seeing all these senses, it is reaching to the doer. But at the conclusion, what you can say is, through your senses, you are giving light to the things. So how these people are coming, all these things are coming as an impressions. Through your breath form, it is coming as an impressions inside, and the light is going through these senses to the nature. The 3 senses, the breath touches the sense of smell. Then the breath form and the earth breath in the head, earth breath in the head, and passes the way the involuntary nervous system to the solar plexus and to the end of the spinal cord, where the earth breath transforms the impressions and causes to see, hear, and taste. Because here from the head to this is all connected. The brain, spinal cord, everything is connected. Okay, so here how this is flowing, right? How this is flowing through spinal cord, the solar plexus. How the senses are flowing. That is what he is explaining here. Here he gave the detail. Head is the light world. Head is the light world. Thoracic region is the life world. Abdominal region is the form world. And pelvic region is the physical world. That is actually the 4 worlds were designed. But what is happening nowadays is the head became the physical world. We are not keeping all the light in our head. We are keeping all the external things in our head. We are thinking this is the life because we are under the ignorance that I am the body. I'm not thinking I'm the soul and I need not accumulate all these things. Whatever the things comes, it will come. Whatever I need it, I'm not thinking that way. However I study, however I do, I'm just going back and saying that I'm the body and I'm started accumulating and I'm keeping every physic, every other. This is mine, that is not mine. This is my kid, that is not. So all this is, I'm the body consciousness. Whenever you are in that thing, you are keeping all your physical world into your head. You are not keeping your light. That's what he's saying. The head is used for the physical world now. The head is designed for light world, but you excluded your light. You excluded your knower portion from your side. You are thinking you are the doer. That is why the doer and knower and the thinker has gone from you. Head is used for the physical world, the pelvic cavity of the light world. Pelvic cavity, that is light world is going into the pelvic cavity. It went down. So because it went down and pelvic cavity, only thing that we are using the light is only the recreation and creation, creating the thing. Because the knower and the thinker and the doer as a whole has withdrawn from the body. The brain in the head has been unspurred by the portion of the doer, and that in the body, the pelvic organs are devoted and controlled by the procreative functions of the body. So because the light went into the up, so it is only the procreative functions it is using. Next, coming to the 4 systems and 4 sections. The 4 systems related to the run through the 4 sections. What are the 4 systems we have? Generative system, worked by the the generative systems worked by the elemental functions as a sense of the light. Generative systems are elemental functions of sense of light. Whereas through generative system, the sense of light sight can act indirectly to the 4 other planes of the physical world and the nature. The 3 parts of the three atmosphere of the triune self, what are the 3 parts, knower, thinker, and doer, may get the light from the doer for the nature. So from these things, it will get the nature. Some of the organs in the generative systems which connect through the nature involuntary systems are, what are the things that are connected to the involuntary system? Sorry. The light plane, eyes and their nerves. Eyes and nerves are connected to the light plane. Life plane, the heart and lungs and their nerves. Form plane, kidneys and adrenals and their nerves. Physical plane, generative organs and their nerves. These are the 4 planes that it has been connected. Suppose if I take the triune self, if I take this triune self and may contact the organs with the generative system through the voluntary nervous system, pituitary body, I-ness. Again, from the light plane, we have I-ness and selfness, right? So pituitary body with the I-ness and pineal gland with the selfness. Heart and cerebellum with the righteousness, and lungs and cerebrum by the reasoning. Kidneys by feeling and adrenals by the desire. So these are all the body parts, how it is connecting, how our body part are connecting to the various things in the nature. I'm stopping here. I have written only up to here, but I'll continue this one. Okay. So whenever you are taking, so I'll just take a thing, right? Whenever a thing, you are sensing a thing. Let us take you are sensing sight, you are sensing something. What is happening? It goes to the particles are going, the particles of the radiant matter are going to the thrown off in every object, right? It focuses. So whenever you are smelling, your vision is also focusing on it, what it is. Suppose you are smelling, then you are saying it is a jasmine. How can? Because it is already, its image is already printed. The smell with some flower, it was, if you are actually having the first time that you are smelling the jasmine, then you wanted to see how the flower looks like. So you are storing that impression, transmitting that impression through your eye nerves into the sight. The senses of hearing, tasting, works in the same principle. All these principles is working just like that in instantaneous. Once something comes up, instantaneously all these getting working up. The line of smelling, the elemental. So when these elementals are, whenever you are smelling, the elementals are touching immediately, but other things it is touching indirectly. The 3 other senses it is touching indirectly. That is what here is saying. Let me show you one figure. Tell me if you are able to see my screen. Able to see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Here it is saying, see, physical body for the triune self complete. So when the triune self is a complete, right? How it is showing. The way the body is the 3 sections, the form path, the life path, and the light path. The front is the nature of the card. The front of the body is the nature of the nature card. That spinal cord is the triune self. If I take the spinal cord is the triune self. The central canal running through the nature cord and across the bridge through the spinal cord. This is the central canal across the bridge through so this is the central, the pituitary and the pineal glands. Here if you say this is a pineal gland and this is a pituitary body. These 2 are the light path. I-ness and selfness, they are connecting. And next one is the life path. Okay, this is the life path, and the next one is the form path. And here it is the bridge only. If you see here, this is a triune self. There is a no. You have balanced all your desires. You have balanced all your feelings here. So when you are balanced, all the feelings and desires, in that part, there's no male and female. It's a perfect sexless body that you are having it here. Perfect sexless body. That's how it will become when you are actually can manage it. In human, whenever you are actually, so at that time, you need not attract and interact with the nature, or you cannot, you need not do, or you need not waste your energy on the nature. On the you can keep all your light within yourself, and you are able to get on the things. The sections of the body are connected with the four worlds. We already mentioned head with the light one, all those things, right?
Yes.
The triune self may contact with the organs. So the triune self is contacting. Now tell me, what is the triune self is in contacting with what organs? For I-ness, which organs that we are getting I-ness and selfness?
I and
I-ness and selfness.
eyes and their nerves. Light plane.
No, in the body.
Oh,
in the body.
Lower part.
Just now I shown, and just
now
in
the body.
Which part of the body? In the body, which part it is going?
Light. It's a light plane. Which part of the body you are saying?
No, which part of which? Not the eyes, because eyes are all senses, right? The which
Head.
part? If you take the pineal gland and the
pineal and pituitary.
Yeah.
Pineal and
pituitary body, I-ness, pineal body, selfness.
Yes, it is. The next one is the righteousness, contacted by
heart and lungs. Normally heart and lungs, spinal, and middle portion of the spinal cord.
Heart and cerebellum, the portion of the thing. Next one is reasoning. Reasoning.
Lungs and cerebrum.
Cerebrum. And, yes. Then feeling.
Kidneys.
Kidneys and adrenals.
Desire is
adrenals.
Desire is adrenals. If you do not have present any of your feelings and desires, if you can control, balance all your feelings and desires, then actually you are not giving your light to the nature, then you are actually perfect sexless body. That's how you'll become. So ultimately, anybody, whether Ramana Maharshi says in Upadesaram or Sri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, or anybody, what they are saying is, do not go on to desire. Do not go into the desires. Whether Parsival is saying through thinking and destiny, as long as you are going through your desires, you are actually wasting your time. It could be anything. It could be anything and desires. And again, we think that, oh, these are my kids. It's a minimum responsibility that I have to take. Until when you have responsibility? Until 21, isn't it? Until 21, you have a responsibility. You need to give a proper education. You need to give all the, you need to teach them right and wrong. After 21, if they take any decision on their own, you should not be, because you are so much attached to them. Because again, the attachment is a problem there. Because of that, you will feel bad, you will feel that, because it is their life. As Khalil Gibran tell, kids are not your kids, they born through you. They born through you and they have their own destiny. So they follow their destiny. Just you need to be the spectator. Even in your own kids, if neighboring kids is doing something, you will be the spectator. So here also you should be the spectator after 21 years. You should not from the beginning. After 21 years, your responsibility is done. So we should not be. So the light should not be. Again, if you are keeping on them, means it is again the nature. You are keeping something, the attachment, you are wasting your light. The pull, right? The pull of the nature is exercised from the light plane. If they want to have the light plane from the physical world, they want to have the light, it pulls the light from the light plane. From the noetic atmosphere, it tries to pull. It may give you some kind of desires. It may show you something. It may generate some feelings. It may generate some. So in case of kids, it's the feelings. In case of something else, you wanted desires. These are the things, right? So with all these things, so as long as you are going, if being a girl, I'm going again more with I'm working more with my kidneys, and more going with the feelings. As one in the male figure, they may go more with the desires, isn't it? So here he's saying the sense of the sight through eyes, the male and female organs, especially testicles and ovaries. So they go through all these things, and those desires are actually going going with these things by means of the sight of successfully the planes of physical world. So to go through this physical world, the earth breath, it breathes out through 6 parts. The pull is transformed in the kidneys, the breath form, to the feeling of the doer, and then the desire in the adrenals rushes to the heart. So it is starting that desire from there, it is rushing to the heart. You want, because there are so many things you will see, so many movies, so many, all the things. So many things are happening, even from the Ramayana to Mahabharata, if you see, that desire, that particular push only is causing all these, fightings and kingdom, all this. What is this? All this is the desires. It is rushing through your organs, and it is reaching out to you. No, Duryodhana, why he could have been friendly with their cousins, and he would have given the 5 villages, and he still could have ruled his kingdom. Why? The desire that I want to be the king. Can't Dhritarashtra know that he might be defeating? Because when dharma is not there, can't Bhishma knows that much? They all know, but they were in the wrong path. The desire which is making Duryodhana, whoever is standing on that adharma path, all went away, all got defeated. Similarly, here also, we are getting defeated by our desires. There, it is the desires are about the kingdom, but here, for our thing, every day we are having a conflict. Like Arjuna is having a conflict over there, every day we are having conflict within ourselves. He may be having the conflict whether to fight or not. He surrendered the Krishna, but here we are having a conflict within ourselves. What to do, what not to do, because one desire is taking over the other desire, one feeling is taking over the other desire. We are externally, all our life, we are keeping it in the external part. So our adrenals and kidneys are actually pushing the desire, and it is reaching to the heart. The heart, it is stopping. When the desire comes to the heart, it is stopping because it is looking for what it is looking for.
What can you ask? Repeat the question. I didn't get it.
Only positive.
Whenever the desire comes to heart, what it does? There is a barrier at the heart. What is that? It is the righteousness.
Yeah.
Whenever some desire comes to your heart, it always looks for righteousness. Is it good? Is it not? It will tell you. It is not that some guru has to come and tell you, somebody else outside has to come. No, because you are the knower, your heart will tell. Your thinking will start. You have the thinker, you have the knower, right? You have that light also. You draw that light from the noetic to the mental atmosphere. You draw that light and you think. Your heart and the cerebellum will think whether this is right or not. Even if it says that it is not right, but your desire still pulls. It goes beyond the heart. Your feeling stops at the heart. Your desire goes beyond the heart. So when it goes beyond the heart, the nature, the pull, it is doing directly from the doer, and then you are doing it, and you are exteriorizing your acts. You are exteriorizing your acts. You are getting the object. You are getting the object or events or whatever it is that you want it. Okay, and especially when there is a sexual spasm, the light leaves precipitated by the brain and drawn along the spinal cord. So the small of the back and along with the kidneys to the nature. So when these sexual things are spasm, that kind of thing, that the sexual brain, the testicles and ovaries influences the psychic brain and adrenals, and influences the mental brain, the lungs, and then influence the noetic brain, cerebellum, and all this causes the light go to the nature. So somehow you wanted to fulfill that desire. So your light is going to the nature. That is how your light is dissipating. It's going out to the nature. The breath form, as the form of the breath, is used by the doer as a bridge by which the cross over the nature and nature crosses over it. So I'll stop here because I don't want to rush and do it, because we have some more subject is there in this. Okay. And the pull is exercised. Yeah, we'll stop. We have 5 minutes. If there is any questions, I can take it instead of rushing.
So